Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Narrated Ibn Juraj, Yala bin Muslim, and Amr bin Dinar, and some others narrated the narration of Sayyid bin Jubair. Narrated Sayyid, while we were at the house of Ibn Abbas said, "Ask me any question." I said, "O Abu Abbas, may Allah let me sacrifice for you." This is a man at Kufa who is a storyteller called Nauf, who claims that he, Al Khadir's companion, is not Moses or Bani Israel. As for Amr, he said to me, Ibn Abbas said, "Not the enemy of Allah told a lie." But Yala said to me, Ibn Abbas said, Ubay bin Ka'b said, Allah's Messenger said, once Moses, Allah's Messenger, preached to the people till their eyes shed tears and their hearts became tender, whereupon he finished his sermon. Then a man came to Moses and asked, O Allah's Messenger, is there anyone on the earth who is more learned than you? Moses replied, No. So Allah admonished him, Moses, for he did not ascribe all knowledge to Allah. It was said on behalf of Allah, Yes, there is a slave of ours who knows more than you. Moses said, O my Lord, where is he? Allah said, At the junction of the two seas. Moses said, O my Lord, tell me a sign whereby I will recognize the place. Amr said to me, Allah said, that place will be where the fish will leave you. Ya Allah said to me, Allah said to Moses, Take a dead fish, and your goal will be the place where it will become alive. So Moses took a fish and put it in a basket and said to his boy servant, I don't want to trouble you, except that you should inform me as soon as this fish leaves you. He said to Moses, You have not demanded too much, and that is as mentioned by Allah. And remember when Moses said to his attendant, You shall be known, Sayyid did not that state. The Prophet ﷺ said, while the attendant was in the shade of the rock at a wet place, the fish slipped out alive while Moses was sleeping. His attendant and said to himself, I will not wake him. But when he woke up, he forgot to tell him the fish slipped out and entered the sea. Allah stopped the flow of the sea where the fish was so that its trace looked as if it was made on a rock. Amr, forming a hole with his two thumbs and index fingers, said to me like this as in its trace was made on a truck. Moses said, We have suffered much fatigue on this journey of ours. This was not narrated by Sayyid. Then they returned back and found Al-Khadir. Uthman bin Abi Sulaiman said to me, They found him on a green carpet in the middle of the sea. Al-Khadir was covered with his garment with one end under his feet and the other and under his head. When Moses greeted, he uncovered his face and said astonishingly, Is there such a greeting in my land? Who are you? Moses said, I am Moses. Al-Khadir said, Are you the Moses of Bani Israel? Moses said, Yes. Al-Khadir said, What do you want? Moses said, I came to you so that you may teach me of the truth which you were taught. Al-Khadir said, It is not sufficient for you that the Torah is in your hands and the divine inspiration comes to you. O Moses, really, I have a knowledge that you ought not learn, and you have a knowledge which I ought not learn. At that time, a bird took with its beak some water from the sea. Al-Khadir then said, By Allah, my knowledge and your knowledge besides Allah's knowledge is like what this bird has taken with its beak from the sea. Until when they went on board the boat, they found a small boat which used to carry the people from this seaside to the other seaside. The crew recognized Al-Khadir and said, The pure slave of Allah. We said to Sayyid, Was that Khadir? He said, Yes. The boatman said, We will not get him on board with fear. Al-Khadir scuttled the boat and then plugged the hole with a piece of wood. O Moses said, Have you scuttled it in order to drown these people? Surely you have done a dreadful thing. Mujahid said, Moses said so protestingly. Al-Khadir said, Didn't I say that you can have no patience with me? The first inquiry of Moses was done because of forgetfulness. The second caused him to be bound with a stipulation, and the third was done. He intentionally, Moses said, Call me not to account for what I forgot, and be not hard upon me for my affair with you. Then they found a boy, and Al-Khadir killed him. Yala said, Sayyid said, They found boys playing, and Al-Khadir got hold of a handsome infidel boy, laid him down, and then slew him with knife. Moses said, Have you killed an innocent soul who has killed nobody? Then they proceeded and found a wall which was on the point of falling down, and Al-Khadir set it up straight. Sayyid moved his head thus and Sayyid al-Khadir raised his hand and the wall became straight. Yala said, I think Sayyid al-Khadir touched the wall with his hand and it became straight. Moses said to al-Khadir, if you had wished, you could have taken wages for it. Sayyid said, wages that we might had eaten, and there was a king in furor ahead of them, and there was in front of them. Ibn Abbas recited, in front of them was a king. It is said on the authority of somebody other than Sayyid that the king was Hudad bin Budad. They say that the boy was called Hasur, a king who seized every ship by force. So I wish that if that boat passed by him, he would leave it because of its defect, and when they have passed, they would repair it and get benefit from it. Some people said that they closed that hole with a bottle, and some said with tar. His parents were believers, and he, the boy, was a non-believer. And we Khadir feared lest he would oppress them by obstinate rebellion and disbelief, that their love for him would urge them to follow him in his religion. So we Khadir desire that their Lord should change him for them for one better in righteousness and near to mercy. This was in reply to Moses saying, have you killed an innocent soul? Near to mercy means they will be more merciful to him than they were to the former whom Khadir had killed. Other than Sayyid said that they were compensated with a girl. Dawood bin Abi Asim said on the authority of more than one that this next child was a girl. Sahih Bukhari, Hadees number 4726.